Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of General Geekery. With me, as always, is JD, and
Hello.
no is next to each other here. I can't ever tell because it always records different than when it shows up on the.
Yeah, because I've got you on the top box and me on the bottom box. So
I'm on the bottom box.
yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. All right, do have a couple things planned for this episode for a change. Um, First off, I want to once again remind everybody that my Samurai Boba Fett custom is going to be available through the Make-A-Wish Foundation auction starting on the 28th. It will be available online. I will put a link to that site in the description, in the show notes for this. Follow my Facebook page, Go Figure Customs by Hawkeye, for a link to the item once it goes up on the 28th. I will also put up another video on this YouTube channel to let everybody know again that it's going up and when it's actually live. My understanding is that auction will end on July 1st. The Make-A-Wish auction does go through July 5th. So be sure and take a look at all the other cool stuff that they have on the site up for auction. And they do ship to the U.S. If you are outside of the U.S. and win my auction, I will, if we can arrange it, you can ship it to me and I will ship it to you at no additional cost. Just keep in mind, again, all of that is for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. If you're not familiar with that by now, what they do is grant wishes to terminally ill children. So it's really for a good cause. And again, if my figure sells this year, I will be doing a follow-up figure next year for the Make-A-Wish auction. If you are by any chance in the Denver area for Fan Expo, it will not be at the convention center. The auction will be at a VFW nearby. The convention center has been really shitty the last couple of years. This venue keeps getting smaller. For some reason, they aren't able to get the whole convention center. So they ran out of space for the Make-A-Wish auction. So basically they drove off the Make-A-Wish guys, which to me is a dick move, quite honestly.
That's weird that they let it shrink and they cut the charity part out.
Yeah.
Well, why did they let it shrink in the first place? Like, why is the convention getting smaller? That's weird.
That's the thing, is the convention isn't getting smaller, the venue is getting smaller, the convention isn't getting smaller. They've sold out of all of the
Oh,
tickets.
so they're gonna stuff all the guests and all the artists into a smaller space. So the convention is the same size that it usually is, but in a smaller box.
I think it's
That
bigger.
doesn't make any logistical sense.
I think it's bigger. I mean, some of the people that they're getting here this year is just insane, and they keep announcing last minute guests. They announced Richard Dreyfuss last night. I mean, this thing starts in 4 days, or not 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 6 days, less than a week, and they're still making like A-list guest announcements, which is crazy.
Richard Dreyfuss, is he there for Jaws?
I guess. I mean, he's been in a bunch of stuff, so.
Oh, I know, but well, Jaws, I think it's the 45th anniversary or something of it. So,
Could be.
um, I mean, yeah, he's a prolific actor. He's been in everything, but I'm trying to imagine the advertisement for it, and I have to imagine that Jaws is on there and Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, it was Jaws. Was the one that the Denver Fan Expo put up, and just kind of as a cool thing, General Geekery guest Lauren Wright will be at Denver Fan Expo, so I'm gonna meet up with her probably Friday or Saturday, and probably Saturday because Emily can't go until Saturday. So gonna meet up with her and get some pictures.
Sweet.
Get some art from her. But we'll get some pictures for the General Geekery site.
That same weekend, Niagara or Buffalo Comic Con is happening. I'm gonna go not for any of the specific guests, but they do have an impressive guest
They
list.
do. I looked at it. I
Um,
was super impressed with who they're getting
yeah,
this.
half the cast of Sons of Anarchy is going to be there.
Yeah.
One of the actors that played Jason Voorhees is going to be there. A
Sergeant
couple of the,
Slaughter's going to be there.
huh?
Sergeant Slaughter's going to be there.
Yeah, Sergeant. Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna get an autograph, I'd like to see if I could get his because the one that I had from the 2006 convention, the card that it got was wrecked in a basement flood. So, and this basement flood was like 11 years ago, so it's not recent. But if I'm gonna get an autograph, I'll try to get his. A lot of that's gonna depend on the line. Um, I'm not a big fan of standing in lines. The last time I stood in a good sized line for a convention guest, it was for Billy D. Williams. But he's Lando Calrissian, of course I was going to.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, honestly, I'm really just gonna kind of go just to see what's there. But it would be cool to talk to some of these people. But I don't. This is the same convention that in 2020 had the cast of Cobra Kai scheduled, but then obviously that had to get shut down because and I was kind of hoping that they'd reschedule them for this year, but they didn't, so maybe next year. But
Super jealous of
yeah,
the Anarchy one. I mean, I've got all the parts coming for most of those guys.
yeah, because it's gonna be uh Kim Coates,
Yep.
uh Mark Boone Jr., uh Ryan, what's his name that plays Opie?
Yeah.
And
Green
yeah,
Person.
Theo Rossi, and who's gonna be the other one? Basically, they have most of the motorcycle club minus Charlie Hunnam. So um
And
they're
Ron Perlman, because Ron Perlman's going to be at my convention now.
right.
So,
Um
which I am going to stand in line for that. And yeah, Emily's buying one autograph for my birthday. I'm getting one autograph, and then doing the photo op. So I'm gonna get my photo with Ron Perlman and holding one of my figures. So super looking forward to that.
which one are you gonna have him hold for the picture? Hellboy or Sons of Anarchy?
Someone suggested that I let him choose. So
Ah, I like that. Yeah, good idea.
yeah,
Yeah, let the man choose.
yeah. I got a Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense T-shirt to wear for the picture. So
um the um yeah, a couple of years ago I read his memoir. No, I listened to the audiobook of his memoir, but he narrates the whole thing.
oh,
And
nice.
man, that guy's got a lot of good stories.
Oh,
Um, so
he's one of the
yeah.
reasons that I'm doing the Make-A-Wish Foundation auction too. Uh, Quite a number of years ago, he did full costume Hellboy for a kid that was for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh wow.
When I saw that, I said, if I ever had the any kind of pull like that to do something along those lines, that I would do that. And while I am not an A-list celebrity, obviously, um, my work does garner a little fair amount of attention. So I I'm like I made a promise and I'm gonna do it. So that's one of the reasons that I did a figure for this convention, was him doing that Hellboy thing for that kid.
Yes, your work does garner a fair amount of attention. I mean, look, I'm not buying it unless the plane is included, and that's all there is to it.
Oh my god.
Um, there are some dumb ass comments that people put on your work.
Yeah,
Um,
weird stuff, man. I
um,
I started off the year at like 3,000 followers, and I'm over 4,600 right now. It's
um,
insane. I never expected that page to have more than, my close knit of customizing friends.
well, my only suggestion is if you want to lessen the traffic and lessen the headaches, of people asking you to buy your work or asking you questions like, what scale is it? Just do shittier customs and you won't have to worry about that anymore.
Well, that is a thought.
Yes, but let the quality of your work drop and you
Yeah,
won't have to worry about that so much.
I don't see that happening. Yeah, happening.
Um, the God, yeah, today we went shopping for because my dad's getting married in August, and we went shopping for the suits and stuff. And I came back to the house. Now I'm all stuffed up, so I'm like, oh, going out in public and being near people and clothing shopping. Ugh, now I got
So like,
now I got a sinus thing. So if I'm making disgusting noises on the air, well,
that's why.
sorry. Um, but yes. Um, all right, I put the glasses back on because as much as the glare on the lenses is annoying me, not being able to see is annoying me more.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
mean, I got two pairs of glasses on right now, because I'm intermittently working on a custom, just waiting for this paint to dry, which is weird because it's really tacky. So I don't
you
know.
you
It's a
realize we're in one of the few hobbies where we can honestly say I would rather watch paint dry because sometimes we actually just sit there and watch the paint dry while we, you know,
that's
move on to other
that's one of the
stuff.
reasons I got a hair dryer sitting right here. It's like my new most used piece of equipment. It's I use my hair dryer almost as much as I use my Dremel now. I use it
And
to
to think you're bald, so
now, right?
um,
I told my mom, I'm like, I want a hair dryer. She's like, okay, what do you want a hair dryer for? I'm like, I need it to heat. I need it for customizing. She's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So
yeah.
yeah, I heat it to. I mean, I used it a bunch on just this custom. I used it to heat the her like tunic up to form fit it. I used it to heat up the pouch so it would go on her leg. I used it this is a cast head, so I used it to heat up the resin to make the hair fit on the shoulders better. And yeah, if we weren't doing the show, I'd be using it to make the paint dry.
Um, yeah, a couple of the customs that I made probably 10 years ago now. Um, these guys, it's Munitia and her partner in crime, Cassius Flay. I've decided to update them
I don't
in the
I don't know
classified
who
format. Huh?
I don't know who Cassius Flay is.
He's a character I made up.
Oh,
Yeah, he's another bounty hunter with Munitia.
gotcha.
Um,
Because I remember
because my aim for this Munitia custom was make a custom of her that doesn't use any parts from the Baroness. So I decided that I'm going to make a classified version of both. So here's the start of her.
nice. I was gonna ask what head you were gonna use.
Yeah, this is
Gray.
yeah, I got a Jean Grey head, two of them for $12 shipped off eBay. So um the second head, I might try to work on that weird head covering that she has on the official versions, but for now, I've got a pair of goggles on the way, so I can update her both ways. But
I like the Jean Grey head. That's a good idea. The like
um,
man head.
yeah, she's yeah. I had to cut down the ponytail because it's a Marvel figure, so you know the ponytail was down to here. So, but yeah, I don't have the base figure for Cassius yet. I found a WWE figure on Amazon that'll work perfectly. Um, and it was deep discounted to like $13. I should have that on Monday. But yeah, I'm not
Oh,
on
that
neither of them. I'm not gonna exactly recreate what I did before. but I am going to update them so that they will still be recognizable. But originally, when I did that crew, there was a third bounty hunter, but he's not really making the transition because he was the least of them then and still is. So I decided to make these two. And, um, because, there's just, it's a lot like what I did with Chantilly Lace, where every once in a while, a creation of my own just sticks with me. And so I decide to bring it into the bigger format. I
Right.
haven't decided against updating um, Mongrel and Rubbish Bin to the classified format too. I might, because of my Marauder figures, of the Marauder Task Force customs I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rubbish Bin and yeah, Mongrel and Chantilly Lace my favorite. So all the rest of them I could take it or leave. They were fine, but
I see
yeah,
it.
sometimes I just want to bring them into the new medium. So
Yeah, I can understand that. There's definitely O-ring customs that I've done that I have moved into the modern
I
figure.
was gonna say you've updated a couple of them into the modern construction figures. So
A couple of my
there's just there's just some customs that you just have to bring with you into wherever your hobby as it proceeds,
yeah.
or as you're yeah. Sometimes you got to bring a character in with you.
Uh my helicopter sniper, Hawkeye, my uh Halo diver that's based off a 12-inch figure, and my Polar Mountain Striker seal that's based off a 12-inch figure. I did those in O-ring, and I've done, boy, at least two of each of those in modern.
Um, since you're since you're updating your SEAL team box set, are you going to redo any of those customs, or are you repackaging, or are you going to leave most of the customs as they are and just repackage them in the new box?
Just repackaged them. I was super happy with how each and every one of those figures turned
Well,
out.
that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be one of those things where you unpack it and you find like one or two little issues that you're like, I think I can fix it. But
If I get
um,
some like paint chipping or something like that, but I spent hours and hours and hours doing the
I
graphic.
remember.
Yeah, well, on that box, but doing the new box, I've probably spent 10 or 20 hours doing graphic art on this new box.
Nice, nice.
Um, so I looked exhaustively at all of those pictures of those figures, just like
And
that.
you're just happy with them. That's good. That's good because if it was a project of mine, I would be worried about getting hung up on all that shit. But I am really glad that other customizers are not as anal retentive or nitpicky as I am, because that would stop my
I
progress.
wouldn't say that, because that's one of the reasons I'm doing this. If you look at the box set, I mean, I took to make the box. Let me get it. Hang on a second. I've got it right here. Alice, I'm not going anywhere, sweetie. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons that I'm fixing this. Number one, the font on the back is illegible because of how I did it. It's red with a black drop shadow behind it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't remember it being illegible, but you're
Yeah,
you're
yeah, it is, unfortunately. It's not too bad on the rest of the box, but on the back, you can't fucking read it.
ah
On the front, it says 4 highly detailed, realistic military action figures and accessories.
oh
Actually, it
so
says that on several places on the box that there's only 4 figures in this set.
so all right. Yeah, I could see why that would annoy the shit out of you.
Yeah, I just caught that while I was doing graphic art because what I was gonna do was just port the. I saved all of the graphic art that I did for this. I was just gonna port it over to the template for the new box, but then I started catching these typos. I'm like, yeah, there's way more than 4 figures in this box. So I'm like, oh god damn it. And then what I did, I mean, this is a Chap May plain box, and I just printed out things and then glued them to the box. And it's coming off. I used hot glue to put it on there because I didn't know what else to do. So it totally looks like I printed stuff and glued it to a box. Whereas, I'm having a box custom made with my art on it.
That's cool. So are you gonna print up individual cards for each and put them in the box like you are for the Predators? Okay.
Uh-uh.
Um,
Not about doing
the
that. It's just too. I could at some point if I felt like it, because now I can open the box again. Which I sealed this. I made sure it was never going to get opened. So, and even if I could open it, the figures are wired to the back. So I mean, it was not designed to be opened at all ever again. Whereas this box that I'm having made is a mailer box, so it's designed to be open and closed.
um, so for that box, you actually put the like the twist tie wires.
Yeah, one of oh geez, I can't think of the guy's name. D&J Toys. He did the backdrops for us. He was
Joe.
oh
Yeah, Joe.
gosh, I can't think of his last name.
He's got. It's not a
O'Hara.
super rare last name. I'm having trouble here.
O'Hara.
Yes. Sorry, Joe. If you're listening.
Joe Harris sent me the twist ties because I had a couple saved from just random packaging, and then I put I'm like, I need twist tie. I need at least like 30 twist ties because the weapons and accessories are also twist tied to the back of the back card. And I'm like, I need like a shitload of twist ties for these things from action figures. And Joe sent me like a big ass bag of them. So
I'm trying to imagine myself in that place where I'm sitting there tying those things up, and I've already lost patience for it. I've now mentally twist tied 5 of those things and said, "Fuck it, I'm done."
yeah,
So
because there's at least
you
10
have more patience than I ever will for that kind of stuff.
that box set was 2.5 years in the making between making the figures, getting the graphic art painted. I mean, it sat. I didn't even know how to get the stuff printed. So I mean, it sat for a year until I could figure out how to get it printed because the print company that I have do my cards couldn't do this. They couldn't print that type of paper, that glossy paper that big. So I'd spent a year trying to figure out how to get that printed to begin with.
Well, and I remember because in between deployments, you'd be working on it and you'd do some work, and then you'd go back to wherever you were deployed to and be like, I didn't finish such and such thing, and now it's going to annoy me until I go back and finish it.
I was
So
out of the country when I had that printed because I finally figured out a way to do it. I made Emily go print it for me. So it was waiting for me when I got back. I think it was in Africa. I'm like, I've got it. I can make a template. I can make it printed all in one sheet, like a 20 by 46, 20 by 36 sheet of photograph paper and trim it out. So I had to trim it by hand because that was before I had a roller trimmer. But I made Emily do that while I was
that's right. Yeah, because she got you that for Christmas a couple of years ago, the paper cutter. Um,
the devil.
Hi, Emily. She's in the back.
Hi. What did I do?
Uh, got the art for the seal box set printed while I was out of the country.
Oh,
Ma'am, were your ears burning, or did you just overhear us talking about you?
so I'm down here doing laundry, so it's more of a chore related.
Well, come closer to the camera. Say hi. I am definitely Brian's annoying friend, but she's gotten used to me. So
Yes.
I have.
Yeah, absolutely.
it takes some getting used to.
Oh, not more than 3 or 4 years. I think it is all it took, honestly.
And now, yes, now it's begrudging. Oh, hi, Alice. Oh yeah, look at that.
She goes,
That video of her chasing the water in her pool, I've watched that like 5 times. She is the
I
funniest.
figured you would like that.
Um,
I had to stop filming after like a minute and a half, and she just kept going.
I was well, I showed that to my child, and I said after the video stopped, the dog probably continued that way for 10 minutes. So
yeah, another couple minutes she was at it for sure.
At least it's finally warm enough now for her to want to do anything like that.
Hey, look at this. I bought these at Target.
Love it. Excellent.
They're the storage shell ones. But I don't. Oh wow. Well, I'm gonna. They store all this weird. They got all this weird gear. Like it's an armadillo. I don't know what he uses it for, but I don't care. But
he has one just in case. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, this Raphael has a mace or a morning star, but it's a puffer fish, so it's poisonous, I guess. I don't know, but I really like the aesthetics of these guys. I love the facial expressions.
Yeah, that's a serious turtle there. I like it.
Yeah, the only one I don't have, ironically, is Donatello, and he's my favorite. But that's because all the other guys are they're less readily available. Like I had to get them when I saw them, but Donatello is peg warming at Target. So
at least you'll get
unfortunately, he ends up at the bottom of the list just because he's the easiest one to get.
That's fair.
But and Michelangelo is across the room, and I'm lazy and I'm not going to go get him. So, but I wanted the turtles represented, but like the NECA ones are really cool, but I don't need, or the Super 7 ones are awesome. I don't need $50 turtles. And the NECA ones are great too. I don't need $40 turtles. So, no. But, so I hear you're getting autographs on Star Trek figures at the convention next weekend.
Yes. Michael Dorn and Gates McFadden should be there. And there's people there that we've already seen, so at least we don't have to try to get everybody, because like Brent Spiner we've seen before, Jonathan Frakes we've seen before, so.
And I think once is enough with Brent Spiner.
Yeah, I would agree. John Delancey is coming to the Springs convention in August. Have seen him before, 100% talking to him again.
Yeah.
He was totally worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That I understand. He is the coolest guy to talk to at a convention.
Yeah. I can't remember if there wasn't a huge line or what it was, but I mean, we just ended up chit-chatting, and he's like asking about my job, and I was doing like the in-home therapy with like troubled kids at the time, and he was like, oh my gosh, that's so interesting. And then we had this whole conversation of like,
he told like this story about this kid that he knew, and it's like,
yeah, it was totally worth
insane.
it.
That is not the convention guest experience that most fans have.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I've never met him, but if he ever does come through town, he's one that I would like to. I would like to talk to him and Jonathan Frakes. And you've chit-chatted with him too, right?
Yeah, and he was fine.
Yeah,
I mean, he was
cool.
good.
Yeah, super cool.
But
yeah, as I recall, I told him that I had to I brought him a figure to autograph because they wouldn't let me bring a trombone through security, you know.
I think it's incredibly limited. Like, I feel like that's very judgmental to bar you from bringing a trombone to get an autograph on.
So, I mean, there is the fact that I don't have a trombone.
Yeah, I was just going to mention
which is also.
Well, that's a whole different issue then.
Yeah.
If you get a trombone, though, I'm going to ask you what the mariachi band will be called. So
fair.
They have a trombone in a mariachi band. That's a trumpet.
I mean, they have trumpets. I don't know if I've ever seen a trumpet.
Wait, what's the? Oh, you know what? Music is dumb.
It's okay.
Yeah, I just realized I'm mixing up the words in my head. I had the right instrument, but I'm mixing up the name of it in my head. So,
yeah.
Anyways,
I don't see either of those things in my future, so you're fine. Either way.
No, but you do play a giant harp, which you also can't take to the convention, I imagine.
So
I got rid of that when we almost moved. I have a littler harp now, like a.
Well, I think you should get another big one.
Too much maintenance.
There was a reason. Yeah. It was not sad that I got.
I was gonna say, so you weren't really upset that you had to get rid of it.
No, it was more like motivation to do something that should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah,
but it was impressive.
Yeah,
it was a nice harp.
Yeah, it's full-sized harp.
I mean, not like concert harp, but like, harp.
I was gonna say it was person-sized.
Yes. Well, I mean, for you.
Oh God, you're a natural comedian. Oh, it hurts.
I'm gonna let you guys talk about things and go do chores.
All right.
Have a lovely weekend. Alice, be entertaining or follow me.
She says, "I'll follow you and be entertaining."
Okay.
But yeah, then I was gonna mention some of the classified stuff since our last show, and I think kind of the one that's happened. There's a bunch of stuff recently, but I think the big one that came out recently since the last show is the Cobra Eel that got announced.
Yeah, they sort of sprung that on everybody because that was never a name-only release. That wasn't anything they ever put one of those digital renders out for. They just they did one of their Instagram presentations, and they brought out the two that had leaked the night before. But then there's the eel as an Amazon exclusive. We had seen nothing about it. I hadn't even seen it on a rumored list.
No.
I had been wondering why the hell an eel hadn't been announced yet, because when they announced the snow serpent, it just seems natural.
That's kind of what I thought. It's like, if they're announcing a snow serpent, they're gonna do an eel. Hang on just a second. Amazon is at the door, and that's they got something that I can open on the show. So hang on a second.
All right.
Cobra Eel was kind of surprised and a very welcome one for me. We did a show probably 2 or 3 years ago about like 3 years ago. Like, yeah,
it was 3 years ago, because it was in light of the initial classified figures were just hitting the stores. I had just gotten Scarlet and Destro, and there was some of the other pages, some of the other Joe fans, or one of the pages was asking, who do you want to see get the classified treatment? And there was a daily update that I was doing with my 10 figures that I most wanted to see in classified, with the realization right up, or with the declaration right up front. Some of these probably will happen. A lot of these probably will not. And of that list, half of them have already happened.
Yeah.
Serpentor, Grunt, Lady J, Spirit, they've all happened. Yeah. And then some of them are less likely, but I don't know that they're out of the realm of possibility. I mean, Super Trooper is probably not going to happen.
What's that?
But Super Trooper is probably not going to happen.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't take anything off the table right now. The fact that they're doing Brenda for the HasLab, Dragonfly says that they're looking at everything. I could see that being like a convention exclusive or something.
Yeah, because at the time.
Or honestly, you know what would be cool for that is if they did a mail away.
Oh, like a classified Super Trooper mail away.
Yeah.
I'd be all over it. And you know what? They wouldn't need to back metalize the armor because the fact is the toy companies they're not doing that anymore. But
yeah, it wouldn't have to be, but I mean, I could go either way on that. I think it'd be cool to see it, and I wouldn't be.
As long as they could get a nice glossy, shiny silver paint, I think it would work beautifully. But one of the figures on that list that seemed unlikely at the time, but no longer does, is Metalhead. He's not unlikely anymore.
No, I don't think so.
Because, like you said, with Glenda, and now Nunchuck is on a list for classified. Apparently, he's going to be announced fairly shortly. And then Big Ben and the Range Viper. So, because initially when I said that I don't know if some of these would happen, it's because I was afraid that the classified series wouldn't venture much past 1987, but I was hopeful that they would. And a bunch of the ones that they've announced have blown past that now. So,
yeah, I mean, Range Viper was on mine. Alley Viper was on mine. Torpedo. I don't even remember who my list was. JD was joking that it was probably all specialty Vipers and Torpedo, but I think I went a little bit more into depth on that.
I think you did. I do remember the Night Viper was on the list, and I
think Lowlight
was actually surprised that the Night Viper has not been announced, but I'm certain that it's at least in the planning stages, even if it's not in the pipeline yet. I have no doubt that there will be a classified Night Viper eventually because they know he's popular, because they knew the popularity of the Range Viper, and you'd have to be deaf mute blind not to know that there was a huge demand for the Alley Vipers. But the Range Viper is coming out. I can see the Saw Viper coming out. I had a dream the other night that they announced a classified Flak Viper. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen, but I think it was a wishful thinking dream. But honestly,
I think
how cool would it be?
List too, and I was like, can you imagine like a fast draw Metalhead or a fast draw Flak Viper 2-pack?
If they do a fast draw, if they do a classified fast draw, I will high pitch scream of joy, because the fact is, fast draw was one that I always wanted to see them update for the modern series, and it only happened because the club did it. But in my opinion, they did it badly.
Yeah, it was okay, but it was not.
They went with very obvious accessories and parts recipes, and it was in no way satisfying.
No, that's a figure that needed its own sculpt from the beginning.
Yeah, it needed its own sculpt. It needed more innovative accessories, and it didn't capture. It didn't because Fast Draw was one of those. I always find him to be a glorious, criminally underutilized character. He's a great figure that got almost no play in the comic. He only appeared in animation in one of the commercials for the 1988 figures. I think Vastrov's there, and he never showed up on the cartoon otherwise. He never got an update.
No.
But he had the same job Metalhead did, and when Metalhead was introduced into the comics, Fast Draw wasn't on the mission. He was there. He was part of the Battle of Benzine, I think, but he wasn't used. But honestly, they've done Outback. They're doing Tunnel Rat.
Rat, I think,
I'm surprised. I
think Tunnel Rat was on my list. I think Outback was too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tunnel Rat was on your list. But let's see, Falcon's out. I'm surprised that they haven't announced Jinx yet. I don't understand what the holdup is. I have long been expecting an announcement of her, but they must be saving her for a specific, like, I mean, obviously they don't want to announce everything right away
Right.
because obviously classified has some legs. It's got some longevity to it, so they have to spread it out. But I really just thought that Jinx would be closer to being up front, but I'm sure she's in the pipeline somewhere. But fast draw, I'd go crazy for it.
I think that'd be awesome.
What'd you get from Amazon? I'm just curious.
I got a Halo UNSC checkpoint.
Oh,
So I need the window box. I need the plastic from the window box because I'm doing four more Sons of Anarchy customs that will have the window back cards. So I need the window for the back. And I've had this and another one of the Halo sets kind of like sitting in my cart. This one was cheaper, so I pulled the trigger on this one.
But yeah, real quick, yeah, before the classified stuff. So what did you pre-order? I pre-ordered Grunt, and I pre-ordered.
Well, you pre-ordered my seal or my eel for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because you weren't online, you were working, so I just pre-ordered 2 of them.
Yeah, I was teaching CPR to cops, so
yeah, and
like,
I pre-ordered Grunt, and I hang on. And I pre-ordered the Snow Serpent.
I pre-ordered the Snow Serpent, and the other one that we didn't mention is the Desert Snake Eyes, which I have no interest in.
I don't think it's a bad figure. I think it's kind of cool.
I think it's
I don't need it. I don't, as much bitching as there is from people about another Snake Eyes. If you think about it, in the 3 years now that Classified has been on the shelves, there's only been like 5 versions of Snake Eyes. And while that might sound like a lot, if anybody remembers the Sigma 6 line in 2005, 2006, in the first year of that, there were more Snake Eyes figures. There were more Snake Eyes and Duke figures in the first year of Classified than there have been in Classified combined. And
I don't remember
some of the Snake Eyes versions. One of them was from the movie.
Yes.
The very first one of them was Fortnite. It was a Classified Snake Eyes, but it was repainted in the Fortnite colors and packaged in a Fortnite box. So while it is a Classified release, it's not part of the Classified line. So if you take those 2 out, then there's only been a few Snake Eyes, and this is the first one that breaks the Commando look. I mean, I like the figure. I don't need it. I don't have any use for it.
I don't hate it, but it's like somebody else, like a bunch of other people said that it's like, okay, it's a nice figure, it looks cool, I don't hate it, but there are other things that I would like to see first.
Well, and I can understand that. But if you're gonna do that. For me, I think if you're gonna make Snake Eyes figures, as long as they're different like that, I think it's okay. But I don't know. Like, I don't need to see Snake Eyes in different colors for every environment, but it would be amusing because in the modern line we had 2 different snow versions of Snake Eyes. There wasn't a desert specific version, but there was in one of those Toys R Us 6-packs.
I was gonna say, yeah, the
100 years ago.
Anti-Venom Task Force had one.
Yeah, so this isn't even the first Desert Snake Eyes, but I mean, at least it looks different. I don't need it, but
like I said, it looks cool, but I have no use for it. I pre-ordered obviously Snow Serpent, which I think is a freaking awesome amalgamation of about 4 different versions of Snow Serpent.
Yes. I am very impressed.
Version 2, version 6, and DTC.
Yeah, I am very impressed with the amount of design aesthetic they pulled from some of those later versions and combined it with version 1, I don't have a single problem with that snow serpent at all. I mean, I've seen criticisms, but
the only criticism that I literally just laughed at and just like I replied to was somebody saying fuck this line because the snow serpent wasn't coming with skis. I'm like, dude, snow serpent has never come with skis. He's like, I remember having 3 of them as a kid with skis. I'm like, you got those skis from Snow Job or an accessory pack? Because no, I have all but one of the versions of the snow serpent. They either came with snowshoes, ice cleats, or a snowboard.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, because the original came with the snowshoes that look like tennis rackets. The second one came with the snowboard.
Second one, the third one did too.
And then
no way, I don't think it came with one at all.
No, it didn't. But then some of the later versions, the new sculpt versions, came with the ice shoes or so they there's never been a version with the skis.
And he's like, really? I'm like,
yeah. So some of the complaints are literally from people that they have limited, and I'm not criticizing that they don't remember everything. I'm not saying that. But some of the bitching is literally based on memories that are just jumbled.
Yeah.
And one of those things one of the pages that I follow, there was so much bitching about Snake Eyes. Huh?
Low Light was the other one that I pre-ordered.
Oh, Low Light. Yeah. I didn't order it.
I did. It was on that list, and it is pretty much a straight version, straight embiggination of the Pursuit of Cobra Low Light, which
it should be, because
and the Pursuit of Cobra
Low Light,
one of the best figures ever made.
Yeah, it is one of the one of the best modern Joe figures ever. It is one of the best updates they did to the original. And even though version 1 of Low Light is not my preference for the character, I will not acknowledge how phenomenal the Pursuit of Cobra version was. So to see them update the Pursuit of Cobra version into the classified line instead of just going version 1 was a much better idea. And you can tell where the influence is, because like he's got the forearm padding, and he's got like the shin pad. That's straight off that figure. And honestly, if you're going to use a Low Light figure as an inspiration, that is the one to use. So I didn't order it, but that's not commentary on it not being good. It's just commentary on I don't particularly need it. But yeah, that was good stuff. I think the last 3 updates are going to announce. Well, there's going to be the Crimson Viper, which already leaked. Which the only Viper I've got so far is Python Patrol, and I have 2 of them. One that I bought to leave as Python Patrol, and one that I bought for custom fodder. I haven't bought them in any other color schemes, and a red version.
Just not interested. I have not bought one at all.
But I can't remember what the other one was. But yeah, Nunchuck was in the art lineup, and I'm like, I don't even know when Nunchuck popped up on a rumor list, but okay.
Don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember who the third one is now. It was on the Full Forces page, I think. But
I was going to see if I could pull up the Full Forces page real quick here. It looks like a different version of Firefly.
Oh, that's right. It's the more classic version of Firefly.
Need that.
Yeah, he's got the bandoliers and the more traditional version 1 look. Which is great. I'll buy every fucking Firefly they put out. They can't make a version of Firefly that I'd be unwilling to buy or find a use for.
Same.
Firefly is one of those characters that I don't care what colors they put him in. I don't care what innovations they do with him. Every version of him is good. Every version of him has merit. And
I did
just
not
like
the
what's up?
I did not like the Resolute version of Firefly. I thought that was garbage.
I didn't like the design as Firefly, but I liked it as an urban operator.
That head, there was a lot in that Resolute line that was. The Destro was really cool. The Baroness was pretty decent. The Duke was nice. The Snake Eyes wasn't too bad. The Storm Shadow was okay. Did not like the Cobra Commander. Did not like the Firefly at all. And then the Cobra Trooper Alley Viper wasn't too bad.
It was a great Cobra Trooper that was in no way an Alley Viper.
Yeah, I would go with that. I would say that. And we keep putting off doing our spotlight show on Firefly. So
the only reason is because KR moved over to England and he is harder to schedule as a guest than he was. I mean, I am not opposed to doing the show just us, but I figured we could make that decision. But yeah, so traditional Firefly, yes, I'm gonna pre-order that. Of course, I'm gonna pre-order that. I just had a brain fart on what it was on him being included because I'm like, I know it's one that we've seen, but
yeah, I haven't been on the internet at all today, so been on customs all day, so which I want to see my paint dried finally. Oh, good, it's getting there.
Are you painting Anna?
No, this is the female Techno Viper I'm doing.
Oh yeah. Which she's been female Techno Viper's been on your list for a while. So
I did one already. But this one it's kind of just.
Oh, that's right. Wait, you did. Oh, so this is oh, that's right, you did.
Yeah, so this is I don't know if I should call this version 2 Techno Viper because this will be the second female version Techno Viper I've done, but I did a version 2 Techno Viper already, so technically it's version 3, I think, for me. Because I did a modern update of the vintage version 2 Techno Viper. I'm just sure I did.
Yeah, I think you did.
Pretty sure I did. I was
damn it.
No, I don't remember. I'm just sure that I did. Yeah, I don't know where he's at. It would be easier to look at my page than look at the wall. Because I pulled off. It took me about half an hour to find the figure because Brian Cummings, the voice actor for Dr. Mindbender, is going to be at Denver Fan Expo next weekend too. So I'm going to have him autograph my Mindbender custom.
Sweet.
Yes. And that's why I'm a bit jealous of Sergeant Slaughter being at the Nickel City Comic-Con next weekend, because I've not been able to meet him. I've not been able to go to any of the Joe Fests or the Joe Cons where he's been at. The one time it was in Colorado, we had tickets to Denver Comic-Con. We couldn't go. It was the same weekend, which I think was horribly scheduled because I would have done both if I could have.
Right. I got to meet Sergeant Slaughter at the New Orleans Joe Convention in 2006, but that was a really long time ago. Yeah. I'm disturbed at how long ago that was.
No. Yeah.
But
just sure.
Yeah, so yeah, get Dr. Mindbender's autograph. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then I did another. So, like I mentioned earlier, Lauren Wright, our previous guest from General Geekery, is going to be there. She did some fan art for us. She did a female version of Mutt. So I used that art and made a double-sided card for her that I'm going to give to her. And then I made a figure based off of her art. So and carded it and using her art. So I'm going to get that, have her sign that for me as well.
That's awesome.
I got a lot of shit we're getting signed at this convention.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure sounds like it.
I did do a version 2 Techno Viper.
Okay. Oh, that's right, you did. Oh, yeah, that's right, because you had just gotten the Real American Hero figure for your collection.
Actually, there's a come on. All right. Well, yeah, there's a comparison picture.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Now I remember.
Yeah, so I just gotten the vintage figure. So yeah, technically this will be version 3 Techno Viper then. So but yeah, I'm waiting for the paint to dry on her to finish her.
I've never had the Techno Viper on my wish list for classified, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my wish list now.
Yeah. Honestly, any one specialty Viper I would not like to see in the classified scale. And I keep saying, I am not the biggest classified line fan, but I still am a GI Joe fan. So, and specialty Vipers are my favorite thing to collect and to customize, to make customs of, aside from probably Navy SEALs. So I totally would love to see a Techno Viper, Saw Viper. I'd like to see him do like the DTC Saw Viper. Yeah, I would like to see a version 1 Toxo Viper, honestly.
I want to see a version 2 Toxo Viper, and I want to see the version 1 Toxo Viper forgotten about altogether.
I'd like to see a Heat Viper, version 1 Heat Viper.
I definitely do not want to see a version 1 Heat Viper.
I want a version 1, version 2 Toxo Viper 2-pack.
I would prefer no Heat Vipers ever, unless they're going to make them look, I don't know, less stupid. Although it would take a lot to make it less stupid, because
that's one that's grown on me over the years, man. I don't know why. Didn't have it as a kid, didn't like it as a kid, but man,
did have it as a kid, didn't like it as a kid, has not grown on me. My disdain for it has grown, but it's an awful figure that
it's a fantastic.
If they update it for classified, I won't buy it. I didn't buy the modern version in the 50th anniversary line either.
I am so sad I missed that. I'd have bought a shitload of those. Never saw the 50th anniversary stuff here, not once. I'd have bought a shitload of those Saw Vipers. I'd have bought a shitload of those Heat Vipers. Never saw them. Still pissed.
Yeah, I don't think you missed out. So,
yeah.
No, you didn't. No, it sucked. So you didn't miss that.
I have them in my collection and love them very much. And now I wish I had more in my collection.
Well, I know I sent you one of the Saw Vipers.
That's the one that's in my collection.
But, well, you had some Joe stuff you wanted to open.
Yes. Good call. I almost forgot about that. So, while we've been talking about the 6-inch classified version of GI Joe, right now the only 4-inch versions of GI Joe that are readily available are the Super 7 figures. And that is, again, another heated topic for people because, number one, the price point. And just as an aside, the price point for Super 7 stuff has always been $18. They've been making figures for about 10 years. They've always been $18. I almost bought the Kiss figures for the guitars, but when I saw they were $18 a piece, I'm like, man, that's a fucking expensive accessory. I wish I'd thrown down and gotten them because now I can't find them. Not even.
I almost today. I went to GameStop, one of a different GameStop than I've ever been to, and they had the Cobra Raven figure, and I almost picked her up. And the only reason I didn't, well, the only reason I didn't was because at least I know I can get her online, and price won't be exorbitant because online they go for the same price they do in the stores. And I happen to find, and I can only get one thing, so I found a War Machine figure to buy instead that does go for more online. And that I almost bought her, but it's because she's never been available outside of that.
Nope.
Hasbro's never made her.
And that's,
in fact, I do have
my kind of like pros and cons for the Super 7 line. The cons clearly are the price point. They are very expensive. I think a lot of that's licensing fees because they have every license under the sun. They're like Funko.
Yeah, they do.
And the articulation, I mean, yeah, sure, I had Star Wars figures when I was growing up too. I grew up with figures that had 5 points of articulation as well. But when GI Joe came onto the scene, I stopped collecting Star Wars figures and got GI Joe just because they were better articulated and more fun to play with. So having GI Joe figures that have 5 points of articulation is a huge turnoff for me. However, the positive aspect of the Super 7 figures is they are making some super esoteric figures that have never, ever been made, that have never, ever had figures ever. And I fully support that.
If Super 7, if they ever do figures of Hector Ramirez or Honda Lou West, I am buying them.
Well, they've got the generic. They made a ton of those generic sailors.
No. I mean,
Hector Ramirez. Yeah, the newscaster.
Yeah. If they make him or they make Honda Lou, I'm buying both of them. Because those are ones that they're characters I've long wanted figures of, but I don't need fully articulated real American hero versions. I've seen lots of customs of them, and they're very cool. They move around more than I need those characters to move around. The fact is, I would just like to see figures of them.
Yeah, I honestly don't have a wish list for Super 7. It's just when they put something out that's cool, it's like I've only bought one to keep it as is, and that's the Raven. If they did Eevee, I would buy Eevee.
If they do Eevee, I'll buy that too.
That would be my wish list for Super 7 is the female range viper. But you know, I picked up Raven because female specialty viper. Are you kidding me? I've been making these, and I was going to use that head for that custom, but I saw something really cool, a really cool head on eBay that I wanted for it, and so I got that instead. But
well,
I've bought 2 other Super 7 figures for customs. I bought the Games Master drone and the Cobra Shock Trooper, and I make customs of those.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a wish list for those originally, but when I see characters like the Snakelings, which is the Cobra trainees in the gray with the hats, I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool. Not one that I would buy, but I'm like, it's kind of cool that they made those.
Cadet Deming would be another one that I would get.
The who?
Cadet Deming.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made her.
I wouldn't be surprised at all either. But I think, yeah, I think, well, Hector Ramirez, I think they should make simply because he existed in all the Hasbro cartoon properties at the time. Because he was in Transformers, he was in My Little Pony, and he was on, yeah, and
Oh,
no, not My Little Gem. He was on
okay.
Gem. Yeah, in fact, he wasn't on My Little Pony because that was not a Hasbro property. But yeah, no, it was they were Mattel. Um,
Right.
but yeah,
Oh,
yeah, Hector Ramirez was on Gem, and he was in the Devil's Due comic, I want to say. Um, so yeah, if Super 7 does him, yeah, I probably have to get him.
so anyway, where were we going with those? Those are the only 4-inch Joes that are available, like new Joe products that are available currently, because everything's being focused into the classified series, and they seem to have shelved the retro line, except for Hiya Toys. Hiya Toys has the license for Aliens, Predator, and Judge Dredd right now. Seems like they might have another one, but I can't remember right off the top of my head. But those are the big ones for sure. And now GI Joe. So the kind of shitty thing about this is it's, if I'm understanding correctly, Hasbro's cock blocked Hiya Toys from selling these in the US, so they're extremely hard to get a hold of. I think they're doing a Cobra Commander, and I know they're also doing a they've shown pictures of their Beachhead that they're doing. But the Storm Shadow and the Snake Eyes are the only ones that have come out so far.
Well, and while Cobra Commander, Beachhead, and Snake Eyes are all 4-inch versions of the exact designs from Classified, um, like all the details are classified. Storm Shadow's an interesting one because on the very first packaging for the Classified line, they had a collage painting on the back of each box, including a couple of characters that had not yet come out. One of them was Storm Shadow, and Storm Shadow had a full sleeve tattoo, like Yakuza style tattoos, and um, and he had a metal mask over his mouth, and that version presumably was meant for the Classified line, but then they ended up going with the Arctic version for an early Amazon exclusive, and then they went more classic Storm Shadow for the mainline Classified release. So Hiya Toys decided to go with the early Classified design, and that's what they did. So currently, as of right now, that's the only toy of that art.
So we've got accessories. It comes with one of their standard figure stands, which are really nice for dioramas, but they're not really good for if you got a bunch of figures on one shelf and you got to get them all real close together. The accessories, we've got a recurved bow, backpack with looks like 3 arrows, and then the 2 swords, and then a hood. So that is the accessories, and it's in a double blister tray. It's got 2 sets of hands, which is pretty par for the course for Hiya Toys as well. Hiya Toys quality control has been kind of hit or miss. They had the license for one of DC's like alternate universe stuff, and the figures looked really nice, but they were super fragile. I bought the Batman and it broke coming out of the box, and I bought the Harlequin. Yeah, I bought the Harlequin and I didn't even open it. It's sitting on the shelf out there in the display room.
Didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, because I figured it'd be really hard to get another one. So the Predator, I haven't bought any of their aliens. Well, no, I did buy one of their aliens. Like the Neo alien from I don't remember what movie that was. I can't think of the name of it. The prequel that wasn't the prequel.
Oh, Prometheus.
That's it. They
Yeah,
did it.
I haven't seen it, but I'm aware of it.
It was pretty. The figure was pretty cool, so I bought it, and it's not bad. The Predator stuff, I have bought a shit ton of it, and I did have one break coming out of the box, but I think I bought it from Big Bad Toy Store, and they replaced it. So, all right.
Now, where did you order Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow from?
I don't know. I don't remember. It's something like cooltoys.com or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Before anybody gets too mad about that, they are way sold out. So general, God, what's the webpage that does the fan page? General Joe's.
General Joe's, yeah.
Yeah,
Justin Bell's site. Yeah.
I saw that he had pre-ordered them, so I followed his link and pre-ordered them. So that's how I got a hold of these. Was I saw General Joe's post where he pre-ordered his from, so that's where I pre-ordered mine from. Double jointed knees, rocker ankles, mid-thigh swivel, double jointed elbows. The joints are very similar to Joy Toy figures. So yeah,
so that could be good or that could be bad.
Yeah. Mid torso, we got a waist swivel and then a mid torso swivel. Everything feels pretty smooth coming out of the package. We got a mid bicep swivel, and bald. I'm pretty sure well, let me look. Yeah, the hands are ball joints, so there'll be a ball coming off the wrist, which is not my favorite style of that because those are super fragile. For articulated wrists, I don't think anybody does it better than Hasbro, where they have the peg coming off the hand and then the hinge built into the wrist.
Those figures, they don't have the alternate hand, right?
Yeah. Or alternate.
Oh, they do.
Alternate
the hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so do they feel like you should be afraid to switch the hands out?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Is they're a ball joint coming off the arm, and like all the Predator figures come with extra hands. If you gotta switch them out, what I'm going to say,
heat them up.
Hit it with the blow dryer for about 5 seconds. They're pretty loose as is, but these ball joints tend to be very fragile on that type of joint, not just Hiya Toys stuff, but
right. Yeah. The because I've seen pictures from a couple companies of these wonky looking ball jointed wrists that don't fit properly into they look awkward. And
see, that actually came off pretty easily. I'm like, I'm gonna risk it just for the show, and it came off pretty easily.
All right,
so the other one goes on pretty well. I'm actually impressed, and it looks like a fairly solid piece of plastic for the joint. So,
all right, well that's good.
It's not my favorite type of joint for a wrist, but it's not horrible. And even though the elbows, well, no, I was gonna say, even though the elbows are double jointed, it's limited articulation, but no, it's got pretty decent articulation in that.
I hope you don't have to worry. I hope there's no reason to be concerned that really intricate paint that they did for the tattoos is gonna rub.
It is super. It's like it's laminated over.
All right, that's good, because that would be sad if that art got compromised by moving the joint.
Somebody was asking if there's an alternate arm, because some of the promo pictures that we'd seen of the Hiya Toys figures shows Storm Shadow without the yak tat, and it does not come with the second arm. So, and as far as I know, there is not another version of this out there without the tattoo.
Yeah, that's cool looking.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of the black loincloth. I think it stands out badly, aesthetically. But
and take and what's nice is these are ball jointed hips, so 5 seconds with the hair dryer that'll soften it up, and you can smooth that. You can pull that right off. Because I'm not a big fan of it either. I'm gonna leave it on there just because I don't want to lose it.
right. I mean, I think if it was white or silver, like some of his armor, I think it might look okay. But it's like this blotch right in the middle.
Yeah,
But I do like the shin armor. That is nice.
yeah.
And that's nice.
And then he's got an offset peg hole in his back. You can kind of probably can't see it too well on the camera there, but it's kind of
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's
right pec.
yeah, it's not in the middle.
So
It's
it's offset, which is kind of an interesting.
that's kind of cool.
It is actually.
I assume the swords come out of the scabbards, right?
So hang on a sec. I haven't opened those, and I don't want to peel it. There's plastic layering this, and it's like heat sealed to it. And if I open this will all go flying.
Yeah, don't do that. We've done that many times on the show. Don't do
that. Yeah, when I opened Blackout, I think I lost a piece of something from that.
Yeah.
So luckily we do the show at my customizing area, so I've got like three X-Acto knives that are sitting right here. I think the arrows are removable. Oh yeah.
Oh, don't lose them. Oh no. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the arrows are removable. Price point was right around $20, I think. Might have been a little bit more, but
that's not bad, especially for import figures.
Yeah. When Joy Toy figures are going for about 30-40 bucks a piece, the price was very reasonable on these, I thought. And anything low batch like this is going to be more expensive. So yeah, it pegs in, and it pegs in very tightly. So that's nice. There is a peg hole in the backpack, so I'm guessing the bow pegs into it. We'll look at that in a sec. Or the katanas probably peg into the backpack. Yeah, no, that's cool that the arrows are removable. All right. The one thing I don't like about Hiya Toys stuff is they have a proprietary sized peg hole for the feet, and they don't tend to stay on their figure stands very well.
Well, that's a pretty annoying problem to have when the stand is meant for that figure, but the figure won't stay on that stand. That's a really weird contradiction.
It is. And that's another one of my big complaints with Joy Toys stuff is they have a proprietary peg hole in the feet as well. Where did that X-Acto knife go?
The X-Acto knife is a much bigger accessory to lose. I was gonna say it's not like I haven't lost my X-Acto knife. I absolutely have. That the gauntlet that Storm Shadow has, does it go up too far on his arm? So that he can't see the Arashikage tattoo on his right arm?
Yeah, there is no
Arashikage
tattoo on his arm.
I was just curious. I figured that the gauntlet blocked where it would be, but that'd be kind of cool to see.
He does have an Arashikage logo on his belt buckle, however.
You doing cutting the bow out of there?
Yeah. Shit.
Damn it. sometimes I think the harder we try to make it so that the harder we try to ensure that something can't get lost, the quicker it gets lost anyways.
Right. So there's a little play. There's the bowstring is actually string.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That doesn't usually happen.
Oh, it's a little thinner than the string that used to come on like grappling hooks like Rock Viper and Alpine had. It's a little thinner than that, but it's the same material.
And it's a string on the bow, which is good because because US toy lines they can't do that because of safety concerns. So
And there's some play in that. So
yeah,
I mean,
I was gonna say it's got a bit of stretch. That's good.
I've seen somebody pose it with him drawing the arrow back. So yeah, it looks like they're no, maybe not. I was gonna say it looks like the bow would peg into the backpack, but it does not. So let's get the katanas out there. There's also some really cool throwing stars sculpted onto his bandolier that look like they should come off, but I'm not gonna try it because
those will definitely get lost.
Yeah. So yeah, if the arrows come out of the backpack, I'm sure the swords.
I was gonna say there's no way the swords don't.
Yeah, those are nice swords.
Sweet.
They're nicely sculpted. Yeah. They fit in there really well. They're not gonna fall out. You're not gonna lose them.
All right, I was about to ask that too. Is it kind of janky?
No, not at all.
Nice.
And it's full scabbard too, so it's not like the cheesy ones where it's hollow on the back. It's a full scabbard.
All right, okay, yeah, that's cool. That's well done. I like it.
So I'm gonna offset the swords. Pegs right into the backpack. Pegs in really well. The other accessory you can see here that he has a like a scarf or hood, like his hood is down, and it's just sitting on there. So the head's removable, and then he comes with essentially like a version 2 hood.
So you don't have a lot of concerns with the quality on it.
No, I'm pretty impressed actually. Just
Good.
having I don't know if I have any of the RoboCop. They have the RoboCop license too.
Oh, yeah, they do.
I knew there was another license. I have a bunch of the RoboCop figures, and they're all real nice. No quality control issues on those. And I don't think I have pre-ordered the Judge Dredd stuff, but I don't think I have any yet. So yeah, I'm just gonna like sit the hood on his head I'm not gonna pop his head off and take the scarf off just because
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
I don't want to. Well, I might have to take it off to get it back off, but I'm gonna have mine with the hood off.
I would. Classified Kamakura came with a hood that you could put over him, but no. No, he doesn't need a hood.
Hands are real good. They hold his weapons real well. So his bandolier, he's got some rope sculpted in there, and 2 throwing stars, which they're just like mean, wicked looking throwing stars, which are really cool. And yeah, he doesn't stay very well on the. So there is the Hiya Toys Storm Shadow. I know
that's cool.
I know people have already done reviews, and we're like the last ones to do this, and it's very low tech, and you're not going to see decent pictures like everybody else. But you don't come here for the high-tech stuff.
Hell no, we're here for the conversation,
Well, you're not here
or the personal touch that we put on the content.
so
Because we know who our loyal audience is, and well, they're I'm happy to put the show on for them, and yeah, they've already seen the high quality pictures from the other content creators. So
let me do something real quick here to just edit this out later. I need to do a tip and trick about this for making ball joints fit by sticking a piece of sculpting material in there. Not both parts of it, but just one.
well, if Hiya Toys, if they decide to add Zartan to that release list, I'm gonna have to buy it. So
Yeah,
I'm kind of hoping they don't.
Somebody had posted on my page when I posted that I got this, saying that they were hoping that the Serpentor had come out. So here's my unpopular opinion on the Hiya Toys GI Joe line. This line will not last. You cannot expect a line to survive when you cannot sell it in the market where it's most popular. If this line was available at Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, other Amazon, any other big US retailers, I think this line probably would go on for a little while, but not being able to sell these in the United States, they are not going to be able to continue this line. I don't think. I do not see this line lasting for more than a few more figures.
Yeah, because the last one they announced was Beachhead, and
so there's Blackout with a new head for scale.
Okay, all right. So he's taller, yeah, but then the Blackout figure's a little short too,
Yeah.
because of some of the parts choices the club made. He is not. He's not all that well proportioned.
I got a headless Marauder Task Force figure here. So
okay, so he scales much better with that.
Yeah. Actually, I have a
Marauder. It's entirely possible that Marauder figure is headless because of Storm Shadow now.
Could be. Here is a custom that I haven't shown yet because I don't have all the figures for the set done. But here is my Dr. Vakeman custom.
Oh, okay.
Next to it. So, yeah, that's just a little shorter.
All right, yeah, that's good.
Overall, the quality seems fantastic. Nothing seems super fragile. It seems very durable. Wouldn't give it to kids, but adult collectors, you're going to get some play value out of it as an adult collector. And most of us adult collectors are just going to be displaying it anyway. But yeah, I don't have any. If I had to find a flaw, I didn't notice it until JD said it. It would be the lack of the Arashikage tattoo on the right forearm. I mean,
but
the original,
but if it's
version 1 didn't have it, but I that would be my one. Since we're doing tattoos on the figure with the yak tat, I would like the Arashikage on the right inner forearm or outer forearm. But there you go. That's the Storm Shadow. So overall, yeah, top-notch figure. Paint apps are fantastic. I don't see any flaws. The Cobra sigil is sculpted onto the chest. Oh no, there's a raised Cobra area, but it's just a tampo. I thought it was sculpted in, but it's not. The detail in the sculpt is phenomenal, and the detail in the painting that they've done is amazing too. So yeah, this is a fantastic figure.
Well worth whatever it was that you paid for it, because they are not as expensive as I would have anticipated having to be imported.
I think retail was supposed to be $19.99 kind of ballparkish, and I think I paid about 26 plus a little. I think I paid about $26 a piece for them with shipping. So, you know, I mean, it's for low batch stuff. Yeah, it's going to be more expensive. I'm glad I'm opening these though, because my card on the Snake Eyes was damaged on the back, as you can see here.
They put a
it was fucked up when I got it. I'm not gonna bitch about it because I was gonna open these anyway. The cards are a little bit better than a little bit more durable than the retro line cards.
Thank God, because as a guy who opens most of my toys anyways, it made me really glad not to be a card collector when I started getting those retro Joes, because I'm like, wow, these cards suck.
So yeah, opening the Snake Eyes, it comes with the same stand. What's really cool about the Hiya Toys stands, here I'm gonna take Storm Shadow off, is they have little notches cut in the bottom of them, in the bottom of the stands, and then they come with little H brackets. And what you do is,
what is that, to connect them together so you got multiple?
Yep.
Like a bigger surface to display them. Okay. Yeah, I would not have the patience to be fucking around with that.
Oh, it's real easy.
Yeah, easy but annoying.
Well, and maybe, I mean, because like I said, I don't use their displays to display my Hiya stuff. My RoboCop stuff is in a Deltoff case, and my Predators are in a display case, like a action figure display case. So yeah, they'll peg together, which is kind of cool. Wait, that isn't right. There we go. Like, that isn't right. There we go. And I mean, it's like super durable too. I mean, they stay together. So, and every Hiya toy figure that I bought comes with a big stand like this. So I mean, as many as I have of these things right now, I mean, you could make a big.
I would say, so you could make a battlefield.
Yeah,
easily. Section.
Easily. I've probably thrown away a number of those. And they're not all the same sculpt either, which is kind of neat. There's different sculpts within the Predator line, and there's different sculpts within the because I've got another one here from something else. Yeah, this is from a Predator. It's not the same sculpt. So
that is, well, that's a nice detail.
It is. So yeah, this is from a Predator figure, and
and the paint matches, so that's good.
The paint's different.
Is it? Okay, on camera it looks like it matches pretty well. Oh yeah, it's a little dark. It's not horrible.
No, it's not horrible. But I had that just sitting right here, so you can see that. Yeah, they just.
Well, dirt's not a uniform color anyways, so.
And it'd be super easy to just, spray paint these, airbrush these one color, and then do some dry brushing because there's some nice details sculpted into the stands.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like it.
You could really do some cool stuff with that. All right, so opening the snake eyes, we've got the 2-level tray again. The inside upper tray comes with the Uzi that has a silencer on it. The extra set of hands, the backpack, and the version 2 sword with the
he's got the classified accessories.
It's not the Phoenix head. So I mean it's shaped like the version 2, but yeah, it's not Phoenix. And then whoop. So yeah, I didn't know that. I don't have either. Well, I do have this Storm Shadow. I don't have I don't have any of the snake eyes to know that these are the classified.
But the straps, bandolier, and the belt are a dead giveaway that it's the classified snake eyes. Which is not a complaint. I like the design of the classified snake eyes a whole lot.
It's a little different because it doesn't have the classified communicator thing sculpted into it.
Neither does Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes does not have one of those. He is one of the ones that I had to add my little casted version onto his straps because he didn't have it. He was the only one of the first Joes not to have it. And the updated versions haven't used it either. But I am glad that the little Joe Pro is continuing because Tunnel Rat has one sculpted onto his. And Grunt has one. So I'm glad that that's a detail that's not going away altogether because Falcon had one. And at one point I thought he was going to be the last one, but no, I wish they were a little more consistent with it, but whatever. There's a lot of if wishes were horses and all that, there's a lot of things I could wish for, but fuck it, I customize. I can make the little GoPros if I need to.
So yeah, same articulation as Storm Shadow. There's no difference there. It's still got the rocker ankles, double knees, mid thigh, swivel, ball joints. For the hips, swivel torso, mid torso, ball joint. The head's kind of limited. It'll go back and forth, but it won't. There's no up and down.
Oh, there's no up and down, so he can't. Oh, that kind of sucks.
There is, but it's really limited. It's more
it's
more of a neck joint than a joint at where the head meets the neck.
So if Storm Shadow kicks him in the face, he's not going to be able to realistically react.
No. Mid bicep, double jointed shoulder, double jointed elbows, same ball joints in the wrists, and then 2 sets of hands, and then he's got definitely a trigger finger sculpted onto that right hand.
Does he feel like Storm Shadow where you don't have any concerns, or does he feel like a different?
Nah, it feels pretty solid.
Good, because sometimes you can find different figures in the same line that feel jankier than others.
The shoulder joints, that's as far up as he can go like this.
That's annoying.
Yeah. So I mean, there is some limited articulation due to the sculpt on the snake eyes where there wasn't on the Storm Shadow. So that's kind of a flaw there. And then his peg hole is dead center in the back for his backpack here. So let's get that out. Whoops. Shit, I don't know what that was. The backpack is one solid piece. Some of the bigger Joy Toy backpacks you can open. but this is all one solid piece. There we go.
Now, have you ordered Cobra Commander or Beachhead?
They haven't been up for pre-order yet.
Oh, okay. Are you planning to order them?
Beachhead, yes. I haven't. I'm still on the fence about Cobra Commander.
All right, because it would have been pretty weird if you said that you were on the fence about Beachhead. I would have been questioning reality more than usual. So,
just because Beachhead is
Beachhead,
like, yeah, but the sculpt is really weird. He has, so there's a Rob Liefeld drawing of Captain America out there that's real popular because of how like odd his chest is drawn.
It is not that bad on that Beachhead figure.
It's that bad on that Beachhead figure.
It is not that bad on the Beachhead figure.
It's almost that bad on that Beachhead figure. It's
I don't think so.
It's definitely like not Pursuit of Cobra. It's definitely like, oh, what line of Joe's was that had the really weird proportions? Joe versus
Cobra, yeah.
It's Joe versus Cobra bad.
I doubt that.
It's pretty bad, man. I'm still gonna get it, but the proportions are, yeah, it's weird.
Well, because that Beachhead figure, he's the Cobra Island classified version again, just at the smaller scale. But unless the 4-inch figure is radically, because the classified figure doesn't have the super bulky torso problem, so I'm having trouble imagining.
But the handle on the Uzi is super huge for his hands, so it does fit in, but it doesn't fit in very well. The pistol is removable. It looks like a standard M1911 pistol, 45 caliber pistol, and the knife on the other leg is removable too, which is real tiny, real hard to see, but
yeah,
it's removable.
No, they don't lose it.
Yeah, and they stay in pretty well. But yeah, the Uzi doesn't fit in the hand too well. And then we'll set that aside so I don't throw away the hands. And then, yeah, sword comes out. It's a pretty good representation of the version 2 sword.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, it's sculpted after the classified one, so. And again, full sheath, so it's not hollow on the back.
Good.
Which I like. And then it pegs into the side of the backpack.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, so just like the classified figure. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't have a classified Snake Eyes, so I couldn't say yay or nay on that.
Just take my word for it.
Overall, I like it. I think it's a fantastic figure. Definitely think it's worth the price. But like I said, I don't see this line lasting very long. The higher quality, the lower batch, and not being able to sell it in the United States
that sucks. That sucks.
That's what's going to kill this. That's what's going to make this not a feasible line, is not being able to sell it to the biggest market for where, for the Joes. I mean, a real American hero, I mean, I get it that GI Joe is a worldwide thing and there's collectors all over the world. I mean, we're big friends and fans of GI Joe Berg, the guys in South Africa. you know, one of our best friends lives in Paris. I've got another buddy in London. We have Joe friends and collectors all over the world, but US still remains the biggest market for GI Joe, I think.
And the fact that Hasbro won't let Hiya sell those in the US.
And that's rumor. I don't know about that. I don't know.
It sounds feasible, but even if it's not the case, there is something that prevents them from being sold here. And that something
it's
going to become a detriment to what Hiya can do with it.
It's some sort of licensing issue. I know that.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I'm going to go get our vegetables.
All righty.
I'll be back.
Have fun.
You know it.
All right.
You want anything while I'm out?
Bring me something special.
From the vegetable store?
No. No. I don't want special vegetables. I want a treat though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Get some watermelon for Jack. He's a good boy. He deserves it.
He has been a pretty good boy. I don't know if they have watermelon at the store that I'm going to, but I'll see.
Well,
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
To find treats for
that's all I can ask, frankly.
dogs and husbands and myself.
Yeah.
While I'm out. Okay.
All right.
I'll be back.
All right. But yeah, my understanding that there is some sort of licensing issue that prevents Hiya Toys from selling these in the United States. I don't know if Hasbro's involved in that. That's all third-hand rumors at best. So I can't speak to that, but it makes, like JD says, it makes sense.
Yeah, because the other Hiya Toy lines, does Big Bad carry them? Okay.
Yeah. And they're available on Amazon as well. So I've gotten a bunch of my Predators from Amazon. I've gotten a bunch of my Predators from Big Bad Toy Store. I don't shop at Entertainment Worth unless I absolutely have to, because they just spam you with emails and they're usually higher price. And I'm a big fan of Big Bad Toy Store's pile of loot. So, and you don't pay for your pre-orders until it comes in, whereas everybody else, you got to, cash up front kind of thing. So, that's why I like Big Bad Toy Store. Yeah, they're a little bit more expensive, but you're paying for some convenience too, which is worth it for me. And especially when I was working overseas, it was super worth it for me. But I don't see these lasting long because they can't sell them to their main market. Snake Eyes versus. So there's Snake Eyes versus Blackout there, just kind of scale. I got a Joy Toy figure here. So.
All right. He scales better with that too.
Yeah.
Well, that's because, again, that Blackout figure, the parts choices the club made for a figure that was tunnel rat short compared to what it should have been.
Actually, I have a Hiya Predator right here too. So.
Oh, I can't see it. It's so hard to see. It must be invisible.
So, yeah, it's right in scale with the Predator. So yeah, overall, the paint apps, it's black. All right, it's Snake Eyes. There's not a lot of paint apps. He does have a Rashikage logo on his belt.
Okay, I was just about to ask if that was painted.
It's sculpted into his belt, but it's tampoed onto like his harness.
Yeah.
But and then the silver on the belt buckles, that's the only silver on the buckles is the only other paint. So I mean, it's you'd have to be a drunken blind monkey to have bad paint apps on that figure. So whereas the Storm Shadow, the paint apps are phenomenal.
Well, I found a figure to open today. As I said, I went to GameStop because we were out at a mall that I never go to. So I went into a GameStop that had 3 times the selection of the other game shops here where I live. And it makes me wonder, how are you centrally located in a giant mall and you have better inventory than the ones that are individually in the shopping centers here in Niagara Falls? But whatever.
Where'd you
I
go?
found this figure, this War Machine figure that I never ordered because it fell through the cracks, but I didn't really expect to see it in the store. Forgot about it, but I picked it up because, well, it's War Machine, so I had to.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's the War Machine from the video game. So we talked about the regular Iron Man that's the same mold that has that huge
cannon,
which I have. I didn't open it, but I have it. I'm pretty sure that's the War Machine from that game. Not 100% sure, but I think that's the War Machine from the game.
I think it might be. I do like the art. That's nice. And then the other side that just has the photograph of the figure. But open it up. Yeah, because because I don't have every version of War Machine from Marvel Legends, but I got a bunch of them. And
I do.
This is the newest one, and yeah, I do believe it's from a video game or some sort. I know it was a Capcom thing, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Capcom War Machine.
100%
sure on that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below.
Ooh, sweet. He comes with the supernova or some shit.
It probably pegs onto his chest.
Oh, I think it does, yeah. But I'm
no, it does. I have the figure.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I know there's a purpose for it, but just to see it sticking up out of the package first, I'm just like, that's really random.
Yeah, as much as I really didn't need more blast effects for Iron Man figures, the ones that come with that figure are really cool.
Well,
they are.
I was going to say, because this one flat out has the arc reactor sculpt on the back, so you know it's meant simply for his look. I don't care about the aesthetics of the package, the plastic-free packaging. I don't care. It makes no difference to me. But I fucking hate these cardboard trays. I know why they do it, but then even when they had the plastic on the front of the package, the little cardboard tray that drives me nuts too. So, is there a better alternative? Probably not. But so am I bitching for the sake of bitching? Yes.
I still like these plastic. I don't even know what they call these. I wish I could make these myself for my customs, but that is way above what I can do.
All right, so there's War Machine out of the package. Oh, he's nice and glossy.
Oh yeah, it's a phenomenal.
Like, I mean, there's a little bit of gloss in the photograph on the back, but I just figured that was the photograph. No, he's actually like patent leather glossy black. That's nice.
Oh yeah, no, I love the paint apps on that figure.
And it's not silver, it's not blue, it's this metallic.
It's a
this is a nice figure.
There was a brand of paint called Reaper Paint. They still make paint. I don't know that it's the same company, but it's not the same type of paint by the same company if it is. But when I first started customizing, there was a brand called Reaper Paint. They had two really cool colors, metallic red and a metallic blue. That is a dead ringer for that metallic blue that Reaper Paint used to make. I love that color. Can't get it anymore. No one makes a metallic blue like that. It's beautiful.
This is well done. I like this War Machine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just a repaint of the Capcom figure, but it's a beautiful figure. It's a beautiful.
I was gonna say, if it's just a repaint, I don't give a shit because wow, and yeah, it clips on perfectly. So he's got this. I'm gonna guess in the game it had some sort of effect where it would fire outward or something. And I don't know if they
I never played the
recreated it,
game, but I would assume so.
but that
It was
is
one of his primary weapons.
yeah, it is cool. And the little blast effects.
God, I got a shitload of those things.
Yeah, well, I like this because it plugs into the what do you call it? The thing on his hand. What the hell is that thing called?
Repulsor.
Yeah, thank you. I had a brain fart. Yeah, I liked it. So he can actually. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think it's a cool feature, but as many Iron Man as I have in my collection,
well, yeah,
I don't need another one.
They're
laying around all over the house.
Well, the one thing because on the package, it shows a second set of hands. Don't have the second hand.
They're in like a little baggie. Little paper baggie.
Oh, okay. Did
you get shorted?
I think I did.
Oh, that sucks.
Honestly,
if you need or want them, I have mine that you can have because I'm not going to use them. I know exactly where they are. Just let me know. I'll send them to you. But
just make sure there's nothing else in this. I don't think so, but just make sure. Sometimes these little cardboard things have like something tiny stashed in it, but no.
Yeah. That's maybe a little plus or a little paper bag.
Yeah, I do not have. What is this for then?
Is that the other blast effect?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, I see. It goes around the fist.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's got. Okay. Yeah, it's got a die cut down the middle. Okay, so he's the human sea urchin, and he's coming at you with his poison tendrils.
Like I said, I've got a shitload of blast effects for Iron Man figures, but the ones that came with this particular figure, I was like, okay, these are actually pretty cool. I need to.
Yeah, I am very happy that I found this figure.
Yeah, because we were talking about, you and I had a conversation about this not too long ago about how you need. Well, I think when I got mine, how you needed to.
Yeah, because you sent me a couple of them because I needed them for the shotguns that Major Barrage was using. But
the figure in general, I think you and I were talking about this figure in general.
Oh yeah, because when they first announced it and we showed the pictures, I think we discussed it. But like I said, it fell through the cracks and they never pre-ordered it. But I find the Marvel Legends stuff to be incredibly hard to keep up with, and it makes me really glad that I'm not any kind of a completist because between exclusives and multi-packs and individual cards, Marvel Legends come out at the most fast and furious. The only other toy line I've ever seen put out that much that quickly is Transformers. Holy shit. I don't know how anybody keeps up with that line.
I will add on to that Hiya Toys or not Joy Toys with their Warhammer line.
Yeah,
you can't keep up.
Oh, it's a constant barrage of different releases. Every week there's new pre-orders for Marvel Legends, and it's not just one day in the week. Sometimes it's multiple, and it'll be a 2-pack or a 3-pack.
There was announcements today. There's a Secret Wars, Nick Fury, and I can't think of the guy's name. The Skrull that was with him in oh fuck.
Oh, Talos.
What's that?
Wait, what do you mean? In the
guy that plays Krennic.
Yeah, Talos.
That's it.
Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that.
I mean, they announced those today, and it's almost once a month. JG's texting me with, "Do you pre-ordered this Iron Man yet?" Because they just got announced.
Yeah, there's there are so many
I haven't seen it.
between Avengers figures, MCU figures, like comic book X-Men figures, and like the retro carded, like the Spider-Man. So I don't know how the Marvel Legends, I don't know how they keep up with it. There is simply so much volume that comes out. There's multi-packs, 3-packs, 4-packs. There's an Amazon exclusive, and they come out constantly. And I don't know how anybody now. Never mind the price. Never mind how much they afford it. I don't know, but I would go insane if I was a completist trying to keep up with any of it. Yeah, there is an ungodly amount of figures that come out for Marvel every year, and I still see the wish lists of people, that people put together of super obscure characters that they haven't yet made. But I feel like a lot of those characters, there's at least a chance. Like there'll be a box set with hey, look, there's these 3D listers and a Spider-Man.
Yep.
In fact, there was a Spider-Man's villains box set a few months ago. It had a Spider-Man, and there were like 4 of the most random looking fucking characters I've ever seen. And apparently they were all directly from the comic books over the years, like completely faithful. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know who those characters are. I would never need figures of them, but good on them for even making them, because at no other point in history would the guy that's dressed like a giant pig, I don't think he would have had a chance.
It's one of the things that one of the comments that I see on those announcements is like, oh my God, who needs another Iron Man figure? And like, I do.
Yeah, you do.
And I still don't have all of the Iron Man figures. When they did, I missed like JD said, there's like 3-figure box sets. I missed one of those 3-figure box sets. Now I can't find it anywhere to get the one Iron Man figure that was in that. And as an Iron Man completist, I still can't keep up. It's still hard to keep up with the line. I'm still missing stuff. I'm missing
Brody has a glowing personality.
Yeah.
Shut up. All right. I'm very happy I found this figure.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally worth it. The other thing I was going to open was this Halo Checkpoint box set. Again, I got it pretty much because I needed the plastic for my customs that I'm working on, but at the same time, I needed an excuse to buy this too, because I've been looking at this for months. Because the amount of
you're a big nerd and you like toys, so
yeah.
Now
it comes with just a shitload of accessories. So
yeah, I was gonna say, because all those box sets that I see with the Halo figures, there's always the Halo guys in the armor, and then it's just accessory after accessory. Like I just look and I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of guns.
Well, one of the reasons that I got this particular one is because it doesn't have a Master Chief in it. It's like I already have a couple. Wow. Okay. Geez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figure stands.
Wow.
That's what I said. And I don't know what that is sculpted in there. Oh, I think it's a speed bump. Yeah, it's like a force field speed bump for the checkpoint.
Oh, interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Well, all those figure stands, I wonder if the peg holes will work for like Joe's and stuff.
Well, let's find out. I got Joe's right here. Where did Blackout go? Yeah, I think these are Joe size figure stands.
Nice.
He's got weird size feet. Let me get the Marauder figure here. It's
not exactly.
It's a little big, but it works.
Okay.
They're a little bigger, but these figure stands interlock too, which is kind of cool. But I mean, 10 figure stands is awesome. I think that's a fantastic accessory. So yeah, I think this set was $28, and so far it's you're gonna get your money's worth for that. This has way more in it than I thought it did. So yeah, 10 figure stands. The force field speed bump, which is super cool accessory. And I never would have thought of that. All right. Yeah, I'm glad I pulled the trigger on this. This is awesome. Because I'd done a review on, I bought the Halo drop ship, and the drop ship's kind of plain and boring, and the figure is absolute garbage. So I was super disappointed with my last Halo purchase.
Oh yeah, that's the one that you got. There's this little. It was like a life pod or something, right?
Yeah,
and you're like, this thing sucks a lot more than it looks like it was going to.
Yeah. Yeah, the pod's sitting right here. I don't know if I put the figure's not in there. And it looks like it has some sort of like eject mechanism, but it doesn't. So I was super disappointed with this. So I've been real hesitant to pull the trigger on any new Halo stuff after I bought the Halo drop pod. Because yeah, the pod's pretty cool, but the figure is garbage. I don't even know.
Yeah, I remember your video review, and you had pretty much instant buyer's remorse on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been waiting for that to come out too. Yeah, here's the figure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now in 2 parts.
Oh yeah, no, because the ball joint won't stay in the hinge. There's a
that sucks.
There's a clip that the ball joint goes into. I mean, this is like the worst design ever, and it won't go in there.
So is the clip the wrong size, or is is it stretched or whatever, or is the ball joint undersized?
No, the clip doesn't hold on to the ball.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, no, this figure is shit, and it's underscaled too.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's like a little dude.
Yeah, he's like a midget. No, I'm super pissed off that I bought that thing, and I've held off getting anything Halo recently. Although I did buy the mongoose with the guns. They call it the gun goose, and I did a custom Cobra ferret with that, and it turned out really nice.
Yeah.
And then I bought the mech. I think it's the Mantis mech, and turned it into a Wolverine Mark II, and I was super happy with that custom. So yeah, it comes with the gun gear guy. We've got like a big minigun here, which is
that's kind of cool looking.
Which has a tripod. So that's cool.
That is cool.
Got some sort of like container. And I'm sorry, I'm not a big Halo fan, so I don't. Some of this probably.
Whatever. I look at it and well, that's good for collecting the elements for the mass device. Yeah.
We've got a sniper rifle, kind of like a futuristic Barrett. It's got the bipod is.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty soft plastic though. I'm not too keen on that, and it
That's
does.
annoying.
It does have the pegs on it, so it can like peg into the armor, which is pretty cool. Not very well though.
Who makes it for it? Is it Jazzwares? Who makes the
Jazzwares? Okay. And then like a rocket launch, shoulder-mounted rocket launcher. And then we've got a container that opens.
Oh, all right. So he's got his own foot locker. That's cool.
2 of them.
Well,
are they stacked?
The underscaled figure from the drop pod, he can store his underscaled buddy in his box.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah, he'll fit in there. So yeah, they kind of stack, not quite, but kind of. So yeah, nice dio accessories. I mean, if you're a dio builder, this is a super awesome pack to get if you're a dio builder. We got another container with the translucent piece in it. It's different, differently sculpted than the other one, and it's a different color.
I'll say it looks like an hourglass.
So,
okay,
be cool. And then a weapons locker, and the weapons peg in. They don't stay on too well. Man, this is a solid fucking chunk of plastic. I mean, this is solid. Man, this is nice. I'm impressed. Yeah, for $28, this is, and it looks like there's a peg hole on the side of this too for weapons. Yeah. So yeah, there's what the weapons can peg into the side of the weapons locker. That doesn't peg in too well, but it's kind of awkward.
I'm wondering if the rocket launcher will fit on there.
It already is. It's on the other side. I pegged it in.
Oh, that's what you put on the other side. Okay.
Let's see. Is that sniper rifle might be easier to do on this side? The plastic on the sniper rifle is super soft. That's kind of my only complaint.
How many figures did that set come with?
2. I'll show you the
Oh, okay.
The bad guy in a second. There we go. So yeah, we got the
that's cool.
Yeah, and it's like a solid fucking chunk of plastic, man. I mean, it's nice. I'm super impressed with this. This is 100% better than the piece of shit drop pod. Again, the drop pod's nice. The drop pod is nice, but the figure is garbage. And yeah, the Gungadir figure is nice too. I like the Halo figures that are different armors and that they're not Master Chiefs. I can only have so many Master Chief figures before it's like it gets old.
You know what? People want to complain about a lot of Snake Eyes figures, but there's fewer Snake Eyes figures than there are Master Chief figures.
And I'm not like I said, not a Halo guy, so only see what this guy's name is, because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a Halo guy either. I think they're awesome looking, but yeah, I don't care.
Elite Mercenary is what this is called.
Yeah, if I'm going to get hung up on sci-fi soldiers and cool different armors, yeah, I'm talking about clone troopers from Star Wars. So, okay, all right, yeah, he's a cool, freaky looking alien.
I like the purple and black. I think that's a very cool color combination. The articulation's nice. It's kind of softer plastic, so it's not going to get brittle over time, and you're going to be able to play with this, and it's not going to break. It's going to hold, but it's going to hold its pose pretty well too. And yeah, like I said, it came with 10 figure stands, so I love everything about this set. And it came with one of the bad guy guns too.
Oh, that's cool.
So that is the Halo checkpoint. Doesn't really want to hold that gun very well. Yeah, there we go. There he goes. So yeah, three things I always talk about. Which I didn't on the Hiya Toys GI Joe guys, is the packaging. If you're an inbox collector, the packaging is really cool. They've got a bunch of stuff in similar packaging, so if you have it all, it's gonna look really cool on the shelf with all the other stuff. But if you're taking it out of the box to play with, then you don't need the packaging. Then we talk about the playability. These figures are super playable. Again, they're softer plastic. I've seen people bitch about how it feels cheaper, and I can kind of see that feel. I can kind of see how they're complaining about that, the feel of it, but that's not what's going on here. These figures are softer, but they're not gonna, that plastic won't get brittle over time, and it's playable now, and it's going to be playable 30 years from now. So kids are going to be able to play with this as long as you're not worried about them choking on it. This has a shit ton of accessories. The accessories are super playable, and 10 figure stands. And then the other thing is the customizability. And softer plastic doesn't take paint very well, so definitely going to have to use primer if you're going to repaint these guys, and you might have to primer twice, and you're definitely going to have to seal. That is one of the things I don't like about softer plastic, is it doesn't take paint well. The big problem that I've had with that specifically was the 30th anniversary Sky Strikers. The tail fins were horrible with that softer plastic. And I've got some paint chipping on my customs even shortly after I made them. But yeah, totally worth it. I got it off of Amazon. Again, I think it was $28. I thought it at the time that it was probably a little bit much for what it is, but I don't think it is.
Turns out not really. Turns out
there was a shit ton more stuff in there than I thought there was, and it's all really built well. I think that I think that force field speed bump is a pretty cool accessory. And yeah, I mean, you could use that for like a broadcast energy transmitter dish if you wanted to, for customizing. I think that'd be a perfect piece for this. And then that rifle rack is super customizable. And then the 2 foot lockers. So yeah, I think you totally get your money's worth for that. Again, like $28 on Amazon. And that's
cool.
The checkpoint set. So yeah, totally worth it. But that was all I had to open for this particular show. And I think that's about all we had for the show too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If there was anything else, I forgot.
Yeah, we've got to be pushing 2 hours by now.
Oh yeah, easily.
So yeah, with that, I think that's about all we've got for this particular episode. So as always, please do that fun social media stuff, like, share, subscribe, comment below. Like to hear opinions on like the Halo stuff and the Hiya Toys figures. Do you think that line's gonna last? Were you able to get some? If you were, where did you get them from? Are you gonna pick up the Beachhead, the Cobra Commander, any of that stuff? Let us know. We always do get back to comments on the YouTube channel. I don't always get back to comments on my Facebook page. It's just gotten kind of insane recently. So so as always, thanks for watching, and stay tuned because we'll have more episodes. Before I forget, definitely stay tuned because I have most of it filmed already. I did a custom of the John Barenthal Punisher, and I am getting that autographed next weekend. So I did a video start to finish of me making the figure and the card back, and I'm going to be shooting from the convention. I can't shoot when I get it signed because they don't let us film the celebrities, but I'm going to shoot right before and right after and put it all together, and I will have that video up on the YouTube channel probably later that day. Because I'll be at my in-laws and they have faster internet. Oh, wait, no, they don't. So yeah, but stay tuned. So I've got a real cool video, of like John Barenthal being announced at the Comic-Con, me buying the parts, making the figure start to finish, making the card start to finish, putting the card and the figure all together, and then getting it signed. So stay tuned for that, probably next weekend.
Sweet.
And as always, thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody.